in the Portuguese league. They're behind Porto, way behind Porto, 16 points, and Liverpool spanked Porto. Manchester City battered Sporting Lisbon, who was second. So they have come as far as they should have got. The fact that they beat Juventus was their moment. Was their moment to go there, beat Ajax, to go there and get the result. That was their moment. To play Liverpool, who are, alongside Manchester City, the favourites, it was always going to be a step too far for them. And I think they've done exceptionally well. And the fact that they got goals and a result of sorts tonight, I thought they can go back really happy and press on with the derby match that they've got coming at the weekend.
So they can be happy as they head back to Benfica, and Liverpool can be happy because they are through to the semi-final. Let's look at how the goals unfolded. Konate was the one to get him, both against Benfica in the Champions League. He seems to like this team.
Yeah. Listen, I think he played well over the course of the two legs. The header in the first leg was slightly easier than that, but he got above Otamendi, and as Mo said there, once he got up early, it was no chance for Otamendi or Vertonghen.
So whilst he put them ahead, we saw the Ramos reply, didn't we?
Yeah, because it was resumed in the second half, wasn't it? Yeah. Liverpool never looked under any problem. 7 changes, 5 substitutes came on. Entertaining day. And
in our pre-show, we spoke about Bobby Firmino and the fact that he's not a nailed-on starter anymore, is he, for this Liverpool side? But when he is called upon...
He almost said it in commentary. What defending? He just runs past 3 and volleys it into the net. But, you know, fair play to him. He's there at the right time to get his goals.
And at that stage now, they're 3-1 up on the night. And Diogo Jota just said it in his interview, didn't he? I think we relaxed a little bit after that. And they did, because then they went on to Maka that VVD obviously wasn't in the side. And it's the first time that back four has played together. Yeah. So is it normal almost for them to sort of make those errors?
I think normal because of that situation, and normal because of the situation of the game, because they were 3-1 up and way ahead on aggregate. You see, Joe Gomez was was too deep for the first goal when Juramchik got through, and you know, I think it was Konate for the second one with the ball over the top. There's no pressure on the ball. I just think it was all too easy, and I always felt that Liverpool could always go down the other end in case it got a bit nervy and score. And I think the players probably felt that. It was like that in the first leg. So to come here at home, you know, it was just a question of getting through, managing the game today.
And also, Liverpool, we've spoken about it many times, they play with that high line, don't they? Which means they are prone to conceding goals.
They are, yeah. I mean, we've got a couple of examples. As we said, the 2 goals really here, if we just play it, need to move here. He's protecting areas. Is his area. You can't vacate that. And all of a sudden, they get turned and doing a similar thing. And again, the third is, you know, a similar one is when they're in that type of shape and they've got, you know, they can keep the team compact. They can win balls. They're all close to each other. But when there's no pressure on the ball, they have to. And this is the sort of area here. This is the area that we're looking at. I mean, even if you're keeping a high line, you still need to be on guard. I believe that would happen.
No.
If it was a close game, if everyone was at it, it was.
But it's a theme, not though, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it happened at City.
It happened at City.
It happened again today. It's happened too many times.
It's now becoming a theme, isn't it? I bet you the manager's going to be sick and tired of people asking that question about high lines.
But are you though worried though? Did Liverpool fans, aren't they a little bit worried now because you can't do that?
They offer so much going forward, don't they?
Yeah.
And they do fancy themselves for 2v2, the 2 centre-halves. They do trust them, but conceding goals like that, it doesn't matter how you play. It shouldn't happen.
Yeah. And we don't think it will happen on a regular basis when everybody's fitting well. And the circumstances dictate that you have to be really 100% focused. It wasn't tonight. And they could concede like that against Saturday against Man City because they know how to play against them. But I don't necessarily think it's a problem going forward. I certainly don't think it'll be a problem in the semi-finals of this competition. But it will be against the very, very best. And the very best at the moment are Manchester City.
Well, maybe Jurgen Klopp will be asked about that high line again in his post-match interview. And he will have a bit of...
And it was reasonably comfortable. I think he was upset. I think conceding those goals, it's not ideal. But they were comfortable. They had gears to go through, and I wouldn't read too much into it.
Well, now's the time where we get to look ahead. And it's a date with Villarreal in the semi-finals. They'll be looking forward to that.
Yeah, I think they'll be really looking forward to it. I think it's a team that they'll respect, of course, like the manager said. But secretly, they'll be happy about. Because it's not the hostile atmosphere that Bayern Munich is. Villarreal are 7th in La Liga. Let's not go. We're going to give Unai and Villarreal the utmost respect, but they're 7th in La Liga. They're 26 points off Real Madrid. Yes, they beat Juventus and they beat Bayern. But I think Liverpool are favourites to go in. We all thought that Liverpool, the English teams were the strongest teams in this Champions League. particularly Liverpool and Manchester City, they're in the semi-finals for a reason. And I firmly believe that they both will go through. I mean, again, I like Villarreal, but I think Liverpool are better than them.
Well, it's really interesting because if you look back, Liverpool's only meeting with Villarreal came in 2015-16 in the Europa League semi-final, which they won, the Liverpool fans will remember. Yeah. But they were beaten in the final by Unai Emery's Sevilla. So Unai Emery knows how to get a result against them, and he's very good on the European stage. We have to give him all the respect.
He's an exceptional manager, and I think we touched on it before. You could say he was harshly criticised by a lot of the press and pundits or whatever in this country when he was at Arsenal, but he's shown in virtually every European Cup competition that there's been that he's an exceptional manager and knows how to win. And that team are a decent team. I watched them play. I mean, they've beaten the likes of well, Manchester United beat them twice, but at Old Trafford they were absolutely brilliant. I thought for periods. So yeah, I mean they're a good team, but as Macca said, you can't sit here and hide the fact that Liverpool will be rubbing their hands together, thinking, as semi-finals go, Champions League.
They were expecting Bayern, weren't they? Really, they were expecting to be Bayern. Well, let's also look ahead to Liverpool's fixtures because we've spoken about how good they need to be, but don't they need to be pretty perfect now, from now until the end of the season, if they want to keep this hopes of the quadruple alive?
Oh, without doubt. I mean, listen, City aren't going to drop points. You just can't see them dropping points. I think Liverpool's running is more difficult. I think, obviously, the United game sticks out. Everton as well, like Newcastle fighting for the life. The Tottenham game's a difficult game. Tottenham are back in form. So I think their running is a lot more difficult than City's, but they've got one trophy in the bag already. They've got a huge game in the FA Cup against City as well. Champions League, they're fighting on all fronts, so it's going to be a great end to the season, and I'm looking forward to it. And
a very busy one at that as well. And also, when you look at some of those Premier League games, there are teams really fighting at both ends and for different reasons.
Yeah, let's be honest, it's going to be nigh on impossible for them to do the quadruple, isn't it? Because it's intense.
You've just shattered all the Liverpool fans' hopes there.
Everybody wants them to win. It's only, of course, but it's nigh on impossible.
Because you have to be perfect.
Because you have to be perfect all the time. They've got one in the bag. They're doing all the right things. Semi-final at the weekend, semi-final to come. The most important thing, it's incredibly exciting, isn't it, going forward? And if you can get to the final of the Champions League, and they are favourites for the semi-final, that's at the end of the season, so there's always something to look forward to. So that's the great thing about it. How happy are you if you're a Liverpool fan at the moment?
Oh, it's a great time.
Do you think he'd take one of the big ones now? He's got the the Carabao Cup in, and then one of Premier League or Champions League.
I think so.
I think so.
To win the double, is so big, but I think you take one of them.
Yeah.
And isn't it quite incredible that we've got Man City and Liverpool in the semi-final? It just goes to show they are the best two teams really at club level in the world.
We thought at the start of the season, and I don't think any of us have changed our mind. Liverpool and Man City, the teams to beat.
OK, well, what a night it's been. Really enjoyed watching it with you, gents. And don't forget that all four Europa League quarter and the six-time European winners, Liverpool Football Club, are through to the semi-finals of the Champions League.